Well, welcome back, friends, to Watch Closely. It's a weekly show where we take a closer look at the world of movies, shows, and streaming. I am one of your hosts, Jason, and joining me as always, he's a man who inserts his card and removes it rapidly. Very rapidly. Ernie, how you doing?
Hello. That was a pretty good one. I was trying to figure out where that was from.
You
I was
get
like,
it?
oh my gosh. Yeah, I did. I got it.
Nice. I'm removing it rapidly. Yeah, we'll get to that one. But yeah, how are you doing, bro? Welcome to another Sunday episode. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing fantastic. Just chilling, dude. Honestly, I've been off for like 4 days. We were closed 4th of July at my work, so we just kind of like I took Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, which was a lot, honestly, and I missed going back to work. I know a lot of people love that, not going to work, but it's like nice to be out of the house and making money because it's like those are days I'm not making money. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, that's true. That's only certain places. We actually went to the theater on 4th of July, and it's funny. Like certain places stay open no matter what, it seems, and then certain places
I feel like people don't really care as much anymore. I know for a fact like Chinese restaurants, I think Chinese owns, they stay open for most holidays. Like they don't really care because it's money, right? But I was in the movie theaters as well, and I was surprised that it was open. We went to go see Despicable Me 4, and it was weird because we went. Was it? Yeah, it was on July 4th, right?
Yeah, 4th of July.
Yeah, we went together. I forgot that we went together. But yeah, it was open. I was like, it was weird. I was like,
I was sitting right next to you. Yeah.
Wasn't I?
No, yeah. I kind of like that though, because like Christmas, like, you do the presents, you hang out with the family, but sometimes it's really fun to just be like, let's go watch a movie, right? Like after all the Christmas, shenanigans have happened, and you're kind of just like exhausted from all the wrapping and everything that's happened leading up to that. It's kind of fun to just be like, let's go to a movie. Same thing for like Halloween and Easter. Trying to think, Thanksgiving. I think the theaters are always open, but yeah, especially like this long weekend, it was kind of nice to have a break. I enjoyed it. Yeah, dude, I was excited to watch Despicable Me 4, and I kind of want to get into your thoughts on it, but
yeah, definitely we can.
We should. Was there anything else that you were watching over the weekend, or things that you were like, ooh, I'm glad I watched that?
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, my dog is. You start first. My dog is going crazy.
Oh, I was catching up on House of the Dragon, which I gotta admit, House of the Dragon right now, it's a little slow. It's a very slow burn compared to the first season. For some reason, I was just more clicking into the first season, and I feel like I'm watching it more, and my wife is sort of napping more. Like she drifts back and forth. She said she was paying attention. She said she was watching it, but I feel like she's kind of half watching it. Just because it's a little bit of slow burn. I don't know. Have you been watching House of the Dragon at all?
I've actually never watched the first season, and I just started it. We actually started it. That's one of the things we're watching, and my wife is the same. She falls asleep, like she can't really stay up.
Yeah, it's just slow. It's a different pace, right? It's a different pace than Game of Thrones. The other thing we were watching is the Married at First Sight Australia. Yeah, and I remember I sent you the link to like where we've been watching it from, and I'm really curious if you had like started watching it at all. But we watched the whole latest season, which I think ended 3 weeks ago. There's so many episodes, bro. Like there's so much content, but we had a really good time. A lot of crazy stuff happens on that show, and it's just a fun show. I'm surprised like it hasn't gotten more popular over here, or like people haven't really heard about it over here. But I was curious. Did you end up watching any of the Married at First Sight Australia, or no?
No, we ended up doing this show called The Outsider. It was an HBO old show.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, I ended up watching that, and we didn't end up watching it when you told us. Yeah. It's a really good show. I think it drags on a little bit. Like it's a few episodes, and I'm like, man, they should just kind of like finish this off. Like it's a lot of things that are happening. You know what I mean? Like it sounds funny the way I say that, but it's like
you're like, get to the mystery. Yeah.
Let's finish it off here. Like you're going a little too much, but I guess it is intriguing. One of the episodes did drag on a little bit for me, and I was just like, man, I feel like this is just like fluff to make it these many episodes because like you didn't need it, but it's a
Yeah.
good show. And so no, I have not. To answer your
And
question,
Mendelsohn does a great job in that show,
he
though.
does. Yeah, I think he's. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know his name all that well, but he does a pretty awesome job. He's got a sweet voice. You're talking about the guy from Rogue One, yeah? That's his
Yes.
name. Okay, I don't really
Yeah.
know his name
The
that
main
well,
guy.
but he's a sweet dude. One of my favorite lines I kept telling my wife when we are watching the show in Rogue One, he goes, "A farmer, a man of your talents." You know what I'm talking? It's a simple life, freaking man. I love that. It's one of my favorite scenes in that movie. Honestly, sometimes I
It's
just put on Rogue One just to watch that scene.
That's a great scene, bro. I was gonna say it's Ben Mendelsohn. I think is. Oh no, I stopped sharing. I had the picture of him, but yeah, he's a completely different actor in this one. Like, he's usually he plays different characters, but this one I think he stretches himself quite a bit. I liked it. It was a good slow burn, like you said. Sometimes those HBO shows are so like moody and dramatic that it's hard to like stick with them. At least for like my wife and I, like she's like, oh man, this is so like heavy, right? You got to
Yeah,
be
it
in the
is
mood
very
for it.
heavy. Yeah, it's funny because my wife and I were talking about that as well, and we had watched this show a long time ago when it first had come out, and I think because the episode one was so heavy at the time, we just stopped watching it and never came back to it. Because when we're watching it,
Uh,
we're like, my wife's like, "We've seen this before," and I'm like, "Yeah, it looks familiar to me too." I just didn't want to say anything, but like, I think watching it this time now, it's a lot better.
hmm. That's what you should do with not the Acolyte, but the other show, the Star Wars show that I keep saying is great.
Oh, Andor.
Andor, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I need
That's
to
what you should
finish
do with
that,
Andor.
dude. I've watched a few episodes and they're really good. I love the first episode; was really great, and it set the tone. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be really good. But I don't know what it is, brother. Like, I can't go back. And then I'm watching Acolyte right now, and I'm like, man, do I want to watch more Star Wars? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
it's true. Well, like for me, I honestly had to watch the first couple of episodes of Andor like multiple times to like get into it because I was like, okay, it's not hooking me. Everybody's like, this is really great, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stick through it. But I was like, I gotta push through it, and like once you get to like the middle of the season, like the meat starts coming out, like you get a little bit of like the potatoes and the salad in the dish, right?
you're
And
just
then
making me hungry.
towards the middle, yeah, start to get to the meat and potatoes. It's good. It's good. Um, yeah, still a lot of people. It's probably the most underwatched Star Wars show that people need to check out.
Which oh,
Um,
Andor. I thought you were talking about Acolyte.
yeah,
I was like, apparently
Acolyte,
it's
dude.
the highest one. Those are the
Apparently,
highest.
it's the biggest. It's breaking records,
It's
right?
breaking records. Yeah, I don't know how, but I think it's people are hate watching it, right? Like I think enough people are talking so much crap that it's
Yeah,
like causing this like shift in like where it's like it's not even that I shouldn't be watching this. I kind of want to watch why people are talking crap about it. Like it can't be
yeah.
that
You want to
bad.
see?
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because I was telling front of the cast, Lex, I was telling him, I'm like, you should watch this show because like he's always making the joke that we're always reviewing Acolyte or whatever. But I'm like, like you need to watch this show because there's always something to discuss. Like there's always something that'll just it's like it's worth talking about. And I would love to hear his thoughts because he's not a big Star Wars guy right now with the new stuff. But I would like to hear his
that's
thoughts
true.
on
Yeah, I'd
it
like to hear his thoughts as well.
because it'd be interesting to get the third party of someone that isn't us, right? Like we're sharing the same opinion on a lot of the things right now, but
Yeah. Oh, dude, we should have invited him this episode. Ah, well, maybe we'll do
what
like
do you think? I think he's
a,
watching
se- a series
Young
wrap
Adult
up.
or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, it's so funny. It's become like this thing where it's like you gotta watch it to catch up with it, but it's also really fun to watch everyone. Like I'll admit, like I'm not the best at finding and breaking down all the little nitpick things, but like there's some people online that like so good at
Yeah,
like cross referencing and like this doesn't
definitely.
make sense with this, and it's so fun to
Yeah,
watch, bro.
I think my favorite thing is like for me is watching the show and then being like, wow, this is so different than what the usual Star Wars is. Like there's like I mean, we'll get into one of the episodes, but like the nude scene, right? And the girl's just staring at him like, and he's like this ripped dude, you know what I mean? like it's a thirst trap video of like freaking this Sith Lord. You're muted, brother.
Right. It's like, who is this for? Right.
Like,
It's like,
yeah, no, but I mean, it's for someone. I mean, I know, like we say that because it isn't for us, obviously, but like, I saw a bunch of girls on Twitter like thirst trapping for this guy, like, and I'm like, he's a good, he's a good looking dude, right? He's
yeah.
ripped, he's got big muscles or whatever. I get it, right? But I just, it's not something we're used to seeing, right?
Right. And it's like, are they gonna go and watch the rest of the show now that they've seen this guy? And they're like, ooh.
Maybe, possibly. I mean, that's like a selling point. Like Ryan Gosling probably sells tickets to girls because he's a good looking dude, right? Too like just like
I mean,
we like to see Margot Robbie. Like she's beautiful, right? She's gorgeous. It's the same thing. It's like I'm not gonna fault anyone for that. Like but it's just to me.
but then nobody saw
Seeing,
the Fall Guy, which is sad. But I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I see your point.
well, I mean, yeah, but like it you know what I mean? Like it sells. Like sex definitely sells, and they're trying to use it. And I think Kathleen Kennedy, right, is her name. I forget her name out of my head. The person writing it, she was saying that she needed to show this
That's Leslie Headland.
particular or Leslie Headland. Sorry,
Yeah.
Leslie Headland wanted to show this side of, and I'm gonna butcher this, Qimirs.
Qimir, I think.
Qimir, thank you. Like he wanted to show him like this, like the vulnerable side of the Sith Lord, because he's like, "Can I put on my robe?" And then she goes like, "No, I need to disrobe you some more." No, let me. No, she goes, "No, let me stare at your penis a little bit more."
She's just like, and then she grabs the lightsaber. It's such a weird.
She's like,
Oh my
she's
gosh.
all stroking it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's funny is like one of the things that was funny because that's happening, right? But to me, I'm like, he just killed this guy, this Sith
Oh
Lord.
yeah.
He just killed all your friends, most of your friends, people that you knew, right?
Right. And
Even the girl that you were kind of like vibing with,
yeah.
and you're over here just staring at his wang. Like it's crazy. Like why not shoot him? Why not take him out? But I guess as the story progresses, there might be like a thing where it's like I needed to know more about something, why he did it, or what this, because nobody knows what a Sith Lord is at this point in time, right? So like they kind of know I'm sure there's like questions that they want to ask or whatever, but it's just like the scene.
There he is. There he is.
What an awesome like. He looks sweet, dude.
Oh, I can't make it bigger.
Dude,
And it
honestly,
says, Acolyte fan base has found its sexiest Sith alive.
that's so awesome. That's like something that's like something that I never thought I would see in Star Wars. It's crazy.
Like, what is this? This is.
Is it like? But is it bad or is it like good? Is it like?
It's just. Yeah. It's just not Star Wars, right? Because there's a different show.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not. Like, see this is the playing devil's advocate, right? It's not your Star Wars. Like it's Star Wars for someone else. Like this is a thing that they're trying to do, and I know like we can get some like hate about this, but no, pay attention to this. Think about this. Like they're making this set of Star Wars, this Acolyte, not for us, not the original fan base. This is for a new audience that they think they're going to hook into watching the rest of whatever Star Wars becomes. But the problem is it's not working, but this is what they're doing essentially, right? Because we never got this. I know there's nothing wrong with trying new things, but like it just feels out of place, doesn't it? Like it doesn't feel like Sith, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a rant real quick. Sith, since we know them in books, comics, all this, they've always been evil, powerful. They have a presence of themselves, right? They exude evilness. Like, you don't want to be around them. You're scared of them. Right. This is the first time you get that, because he like at one point he does become like a Sith when you're like, dang, he's actually killing. Choreography's bad, obviously, but like he looks cool. Like he does look like a cool Sith. But then you get this sexiness where it's like where it's not something the Sith are really known for. At least in my like viewing of the Star Wars like movies and all that. Like I haven't gotten that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's true.
Like even the weird flirting with Anakin with Padme was never like very sensual, like right? You know what I'm talking about? When like they land on top of each other and it's like really, it's like even dorky. I don't
Right.
know if you recall this, Attack of the Clones, but whatever.
I was trying to find. Did you see the? Did you see the video I sent you about George Lucas and what he wanted the intended the Force to be? I thought that was. I want to get your thoughts
I
on it,
don't
but
recall. Maybe you'd have to refresh my memory. You
I'll
send
just
me
see
a
if I
lot
can
of
find
things.
it. Yeah. See,
I feel like we talk like throughout the week. Like there's a lot.
we talk in texts or in like TikToks, right? Like a lot of
Yeah,
times.
it's like, and then eventually when we get here, we're like, "How are you doing?" That was pretty, pretty good. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, here, try and get into the other things that you've been watching, and then I'll see if I can find that
yeah,
clip.
definitely. So, go ahead.
No, no, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Go ahead and load it up. The last, well, I've been man, and I hate that I have to tell you this because like I know you're like I keep talking about this, and I shouldn't. I said I wasn't going to, but I have to. Like I'm at the tail end, Jason. I'm at the tail end. I'm like 33 episodes to finishing this arc in One Piece, and it's
Dang,
crazy.
that's
It's like
crazy.
it's been so good. Like consistently the writing and the characters for me personally have gone so much better, and they have these moments of like, oh my gosh, like this is what they were talking about all those episodes back. Like
Oh, really?
there's an arc in called Whole Cake, which is like I think two
Okay.
arcs back or one to where I am. I think
Okay.
there's like a little middle section before this new one or where I am, Wano, and they talk about this particular character named Sanji and his family, and not till where I am 1050 something do you find out something about him, and you're like, this is crazy, like things like that, and it's just so well done. Where I'm like, I like right now, I can't wait to continue to watch it. And
Hmm.
it's trippy. I was telling Lex about front of the cast Lex that like it's or not was it front of the cast Lex? No, no, it's not telling my wife. Sorry, I apologize. I was telling my wife about this. I was like, dude, I'm like 1,000 episodes in, and like I haven't been able to stop watching. And I'm like, this is crazy that I'm watching a show like this. Like this doesn't happen. Like, when's the last show you've ever watched and been like, man? Actually, you know what I was talking to? Wasn't my wife? Sorry, I apologize. That's like three times. I was actually talking to front of the cast, McFly, Michael, M1.
Ah.
He was the one I was talking. I was just on the phone with him. I was talking to him about some business venture, some bright idea I had. But he was the one I was telling this about. Actually, I don't want to. I want to actually get that straightened out before he gets mad at me. I'm just kidding. I don't think he'll get mad. But he was the one I was telling that. I was like, it's crazy that I'm like 1,000 episodes and it's like I keep wanting to watch.
Oh, I
It's just
found it.
so good. But go
I
ahead,
found,
good. I'm done already.
no,
I'm
no,
done
you're
with
good.
what
You're
I'm.
good.
I don't know.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I
I'm
do.
done. I'm done. There's
Oh,
nothing else I
sorry.
could add.
Um, I think it's great that you finally made. How does it feel, bro, to like be like gone through the entire thing and like being caught up? Like,
It's
have you?
crazy because at the beginning of it, I was like, I don't want to go through this. I'm tired of it. Like it's too much. Like you know how when there's like a point of no return, I got to that
Mm,
point, but it's like I'm excited for it. But I'm also sad because when I'm done with it, like there's not going to be any more. But like
mm.
at the like I said, like when I was at the beginning of it trying to get to this, I was like, this is such a grind. Like I don't think a lot
It's
of
a
people.
mountain you had to climb,
Yeah, I don't
basically,
think a
right?
lot of people would be willing to do something like this unless you loved anime. Like
Yeah.
this is like a real testament to loving that medium because or media like because it's tough to get into like 1,000 like I could not see my wife watching this. I think my buddy friend of the cast Kyle Golden Doodle he's watching it with his girlfriend and she loves it, but my wife isn't like that. She likes like bits of things,
Mhm.
and which is why I recommend to her the live action One Piece. Like that's the best way, kind of like The Last of Us with you, right? That's the best way for me to get you to watch something that I love because
Right.
it's smaller, it's a little bit more compressed, it's easier to digest, and I think that's what it is with One Piece as well. It's like because it's tough. Don't get me wrong, bro. The One Piece live action is great. I think it's really great. I'd highly recommend it. But there's a lot of little things that you're missed that is missing.
Oh
Like a
yeah,
lot of
it's
the heart.
impossible to get everything right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. There's so much content, so much lore. It's pretty crazy, but yeah.
But I think to your point, like that's such a great gateway or like entrance to the characters and getting to know the world of One Piece, and that hopefully spurs a lot of people to go and watch the anime, right? Like watch the whole or read the books, right? Or the
Yeah,
mangas, yeah.
yeah. Which this is a little side note, a little just bit of news for you guys. I forget who this is. You guys are gonna have to look this up. I'm really bad with like animation studios, but whoever worked on Attack on Titans, which is another big anime, they're working on One Piece to recreate the show, so it can be in smaller, compressed episodes, and it's gonna be an arc, and they're making it with new animations, so more Attack on Titan style,
Oh,
because
interesting.
One Piece is a little bit more like it's dated. Like if you see the animation for the old stuff, it's a little dated. It's old. Um, but yeah, so they're gonna recreate that. I don't know when that's coming out. I think it's coming on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, look out for that. I think it's gonna be like fewer episodes. It's gonna, like I said, easier to digest, because I'm telling you, people are like right now are anime crazy. And man, another side rant, dude. I'm sorry. Manga is really popular, more popular than comic books right now, which is wild. Look this up.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
companies here, I think BlackRock, I think it is, I forget what it is, but they're investing in manga. So manga is going to be even bigger, but people are worried because manga comes from Japan, right? And like some of the best ones, and people are worried that it's going to affect like the storytelling and the quality of the content, because if they're getting like if they're pushing out crap every time, it's never going to be as good. But
Right.
that's just like people have been saying. I'm not a big manga reader. I just started reading manga. Um, but if you guys want us to look into that, I'll definitely look into that. But that's like, dude, that's a whole nother can of worms, my friend.
That's true. Well, I mean, like from what I heard from comics, like Marvel, DC, right? They kind of suffered in the comic realm, similar to what is happening in like the movie realm, right? Where the corporations are getting too much involved in the storytelling, and it's just suffering in the quality. And it's like that same thing happened in the comics. From what I'm like, I don't know personally, but from what I hear from others, they said that it's if you look at the comics, it's almost a blueprint of what can happen to the movies, right? Like if they continue down that road. And I think, you know, same thing for manga, right? The less that it can be dictated by the giant corporations and more can be from the passion of the people that are actually creating the shows, the better. Um, yeah, I just thought. Uh, okay, I'm really curious. I want to get your thoughts on this. On hopefully, can you hear this? Let me see if I can.
George was just like
Khan, Ahmed.
Can you hear this?
I can hear it.
And this last weekend at Rebel Scum Con, Ahmed explained
So,
the 5th anniversary of the Phantom Menace this
I just
year.
want
He
to
had a
play it,
long
and then you
conversation
can
with
kind of
Ahmed
give your
Best.
thoughts on it.
And in that conversation, George described what he meant. And this last
He's
weekend
talking
at
about
Rebel
the
Scum
Force,
Con,
right? What he
Ahmed
intended the Force to be.
but George was just like, now everybody gets this force thing wrong. Everyone thinks that the balance is from him, not from me. Everybody thinks that the balance is the light side and the dark side.
I don't know if we should say the whole
That's
thing.
not the case. The light side is balanced. The dark side is out of balance. The dark side is easy. It's accessible. It's corruption. It's the easy way out. It's the not practicing, right? Yin and yang is white and black, right? Hot and cold. You don't judge your stove evil and your refrigerator good because one is hot and one is cold.
That's interesting, right? Like it's so he's saying that the 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 light side is just being like in equal balance. Everything's running smoothly, and the Sith side is like purposely going out of balance.
You need both in order to make good food. You need
Oh
both
yeah,
in order to be. So when you're talking about the Force, and you're talking about being in balance with the Force, it's not the dark side versus the light side. It's the light side as balance, and the dark side as being the place you don't want to go because it's too easy. You talk about the Jedis, like everybody's like, why don't the Jedis use Sith fire? They choose not to because it's too easy.
It's too easy.
So when we think about this, George's last thing that he said, he was like, what I want everybody to know is when you're talking about the Force, you're talking about these unseen feeling, this unseen thing that ties us all together, which is love. And his whole thing was like, he wants everybody to know that God is love. And it doesn't need a name, right? That's why he called it a force. And that was probably the best thing that I got from him after all of these 25 years. And then I told him, I said to him, I always considered myself George's student.
Okay, anyway, he goes on to talk about his dad and like this. He was very inspired by George Lucas, but like I thought that was crazy, right? I always think it's very clear, black and white. You're either good or you're bad. He's talking about the balance is the good, right? When everything is right, then it's good, and then it's easy to go down the dark path. It's harder to be. Like I just thought that was interesting. Oh, what are your thoughts? I thought that was pretty.
No, I mean that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, we've talked about this before with like, mental health, right? We've talked about how easy it is to fall down the path of being negative, being like, woe is me. I'm depressed. I'm not going to do anything with my life. I'm this and this and this. And you could just like the negativeness of that will like bring you down. And it's so much easier to do that than being positive and being like, man, I was able to eat today, or I slept great, or things like the positive, the power of positive thinking basically is a lot more difficult. And it's great that that's something that he was trying to do. And I've never heard that the light side was always just balanced. I always thought that the light side was the dark and the balance. And I think it's so great to have him say that, because that's where the new Star Wars is failing, right? We're seeing that they're trying to create the dark side as a balance, and they're trying to, you know what I mean?
Where everything's gray and it's like it could be good, it could be bad, right? Like it just depends on your perspective, your point of view. Because I think that's what sexy Sith man. What I don't remember is that Qimir. Like he's trying to say to.
I was like, sexy Sith man. Is that a Twitter handle, dude? That is that dude. I was like, man, what a great handle, bro. Sexy Sith man. Dude, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Sexy Sith man. Yeah.
This guy, Qimir, right? I think it's Qimir. But like when he's talking to Osha, he's basically saying like, oh, like that's just what the Jedi have taught you, right? Like he's like, oh, but you could actually. You could tap into other powers. They just don't want you to. And I just thought that was interesting. It's like, yeah, the Jedi could totally tap into all that power. They choose not to because that's the easy path.
I think they, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be wrong, but I remember reading or seeing somewhere in a game, it could have been that only dark side users can use electricity, like the lightning, Palpatine lightning, right? But Yoda uses it, you know what I mean? Because he's tapped into being the balance of light and it was able to use it or something like that. I remember seeing that somewhere. So
he uses it. When does he use it? I forget.
Doesn't he uses it when he's fighting with freaking Palpatine? If I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong?
It's been a while since I watched it.
No, you're fine. I want to double check because now I want to verify. But I remember seeing that.
I remember thinking that too, though, like that Palpatine had the lightning.
Oh yeah, he's using it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's just like a higher level of
he's
force use.
He uses it against Count Dooku. I apologize.
Count Dooku. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's a lot of techniques that I think the Sith and the Jedi have that we don't see on screen. I think like there's one where it's like life draining, and I think that was something that they did which they did in Rise of Skywalker, where he's trying to suck the soul out of freaking Kylo Ren and Rey Palpatine. He's like sucking their soul or whatever, and that's like something we don't see, but that's been a thing.
Kind of like a bunch of stuff in that one, though, right?
Yeah,
just like the handing off of the lightsaber behind his back.
There's a lot of there's a lot of lore with the Sith too. Like, you know how like in what is it? A sexy Sith man, Qimir, he uses the cortosis or comatosis or whatever. I forgot what it's called right now.
Cortosis is the helmet. What the helmet's made of?
Yeah, so there's a Sith Lord named Darth Bane. Now he used that. He didn't use that. He was a minor of that particular element, and that's why he was bald, because it was causing him to get sick because of that thing.
Oh, interesting.
Sexy Sith man over here has a full head of hair.
That's true. Oh,
So they changed the lore a little bit on that one,
you're
but that
changing
was
it up.
I don't know if it's again it's canon. I don't know.
I do that. The end of the episode when she's looking at the cave and she sees that ribbon of cortosis in the. I mean, what we assume is cortosis, right? In the cave, like just carved out of the cave. It's like, why didn't he just mine more of it to create a more like a suit, right? To just completely cover himself. I don't know.
Maybe because it makes them heavier or something. I don't know.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to get your thoughts on this. In this episode, we see him repairing his helmet, and he's using like a soldering weapon or soldering light. And isn't that the whole point? Is that it shorts out all the electrical currents from the lightsabers, right? Is it supposed to short them out? So like, how is he soldering it? Like, how do you repair something?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know how to answer.
Wouldn't that be shorting out the tool itself? I don't know.
It could be. I there's a lot of little
so many
things that I don't know. Maybe there's like lore behind it we don't even know of. That'd be kind of wild, huh?
But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I wanted to kind of share your thoughts on this one as well. The box office. It came out that they have yet to make their money back from. I mean, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in quite a while, right?
No, it was the last one we had was what, Rise of Skywalker, right?
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Because everything has been a Disney Plus show because they're trying to get people to the subscription.
Right. It's just been focusing on. Yeah, and then they're gonna come back with the Rey movie coming soon. But it says the box office profits generated by Disney Star Wars movies have fallen 2.8 billion short of recovering from the giant purchase of the sci-fi saga creator Lucasfilm, according to analysis. So it just means that they have yet to recoup their loss or their purchase of Star Wars. And so I'm sure that's something that, the stakeholders are concerned about. And they're going to have to, right? They're going to have to come out with another trilogy. Like, it's just a matter of fact, right? They have to make their money back. So they're going to come out with the trilogy. We'll see. I feel like a lot of the recourse of the Acolyte and I guess Disney Star Wars thus far is like they've lost a lot of their audience. So it's going to be interesting. Like, and I know you were saying that the sexy shirtless man was tailored towards a specific type of audience, but if you look at the size of that audience, it's not going to recoup what they'll lose if they just ignore the male, like the core audience, right? I feel like they need to like think about that. But
was there like do you think there could have been a better balance of doing both, trying to get the new with?
Oh sure. Somebody said that you could have taken this exact scene with him in the doing the whole like bathing in the water scene, and they could have switched it and just put OSHA, right? Just switch places with them, like the characters switch places, and it would have catered to the right audience, and it would have been fine. And
oh
I was
my
like,
gosh, that's hilarious.
That's
I don't know if that'd have been no. I think that would have been way creepier, right? Like because one thing is her trying to come up to him, of what he had done or whatever, and like she's trying to get him, like essentially with his pants down, catching him with his pants down. But like him doing that to her, I think would have been like, worse.
I think they were saying like they're just comparing the female gaze to the male gaze and how it should have been opposite, basically. Like they should have catered to the male gaze in that situation. But
I see, but
I see what you're saying. I agree. It would have been creepy.
I don't know. That's still kind of so.
Ernie's like, nah, I don't want to see that.
No, it's not even that. It just sounds much worse. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you could think about it the same way. Like she's staring at him butt ass, right? Like that's still bad. Yeah. But like I said, it's like more creepier that he does it. He would do it.
Yeah, I mean the whole scene was a little cringe, right? Oh goodness, there's little clips.
I like the little head, bob.
Yeah, the little head. He's like, on the side.
That's pretty good. And what does it say?
It says, once upon a time, one brave woman named Leslie asked, what if Star Wars were allowed to be horny as possible for the dark side without apologizing for it? And Manny Jenko as Qimir was born. True story. The little head bob. Okay, we should get into, you know what I'm really curious about, Ernie, which we haven't talked about yet, but I'm really curious. What happened with the box office, right? Like, did Inside Out dominate, or did Despicable Me? Like, what was your thoughts before we even look at it? Oh, dude, he's ready. He was ready.
I had it ready this time. I knew exactly where it was.
What are your thoughts before we look at it?
Did Despicable Me
beat Inside Out too?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I told you,
sure?
like, yeah, definitely. I know for a fact that people like love the Minions, and I think, don't get me wrong, Inside Out has been up there for a while, and I think it's probably going to be number 2. But for sure,
yeah, I think it's like its fourth weekend, right?
Despicable Me made its money, like a lot of money. It's 4th of July weekend or whatever. It was like,
that's a long
easy
holiday
money,
weekend.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And people love that franchise, bro. People love it. All right, let's check it out. We got. Wait, what happened? What happened? I said share screen. Share this tab. There we go. Oh, Ernie, what's going on, bro? I don't know.
I don't even know.
There it is. Okay.
I'll play it again.
Get the popcorn out.
Now
there we go. I'm ready. Oh, so you're right. Despicable Me 4 is at number 1, according to. Wait, are we on the daily box? Oh, sorry, July 7th. According to July 7th, it grossed $122 million in its 5th day of release. Inside Out 2 is at number 2 with $533 million total. And the domestic box office, it's crossed the billion mark, dude. 1.2. That's crazy.
That's freaking wild.
It's going really good. Despicable Me. Then we had Inside Out. Then we had A Quiet Place Day 1 at number 3. Bad Boys Ride or Die is at number 4. And Horizon, that's the Kevin Costner movie. Horizon, An American Saga Chapter 1 is at number 5. I think, did that come out this weekend as well, or no? That's been out. It's its 10th day in release.
Someone had said for Horizon on a tweet, they said, this is Kevin Costner's Roots for white people or something like that. I've never seen Roots, but I know
Roots.
Roots. It's about black slaves, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I just know it's like really, like, I was highly regarded when I was younger. I remember seeing that people like were like, man, you gotta watch. Like, it was really great or whatever.
You should watch it at least once. You should watch it.
It's like a whole freaking, like, I remember it was like a big old box set or whatever, right? Or
I don't know how many Roots there are. It's like a Planet of the Apes type of thing, right?
I don't know. I'm gonna look this up. I actually haven't looked up Roots, the movie or the show or whatever it was, in like, it's only got 1 season, but I know it has freaking LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's a mini series. It says here. There's 8 episodes. Okay. I remember there was a big old box set when I was a kid. I remember seeing it.
It was a mini series, right? How many episodes was it?
8.
3?
8 episodes.
8 episodes? Okay.
Yeah, 8 episodes. That's crazy. So apparently this is what some guy had said that, like, reminds him of the Kevin Costner movie. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, for white people, he said, but it's like, I mean, it's just I don't know if it's like there's slaves and I don't know, or something like that. But that's kind of a big, it's a compliment, right?
I mean, I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it.
Either. I was going to ask you actually, Jason, if you wanted to go watch it with me.
Yeah, we should just go watch it. I'm down.
I'd be down, but it's like 3 hours, dude. It's like 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours for just the first part? Wow.
Just the first part.
That's okay. We can do it. We can handle it.
I know we can. I'm just warning you that it was going to be 3 hours. I don't want you to, because like if we like, let's say we go this weekend when you get back from your trip, you get back, and then we go. You're in for it. You know what I mean?
Right. You're committed. I got to do it. I got to watch it. You know what else I want to watch is the number 7.
Possum Trout.
Sound of Hope Possum Trout.
I thought you
Was it-
saw that movie. Oh, no, you
No,
saw
I never saw it, but I saw somebody on TikTok recommend it, and I thought it was a made up name because Possum Trot. I was like, what the heck is that? It was like Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. It sounds like a made up name. I really thought it was a made up name, and I had to Google it, and I was like, oh, this is like a true story of a real place. Possum Trot is like a real place. The trailer's good. The trailer's actually really
I
good.
thought Possum Trot was a guy.
I think it's a location. I could be wrong.
You know what I ended. You know what
Who
I
would
watched?
name their son Possum?
I mean, Possum Boy. Have you ever seen Married with Children?
Possum, get inside.
One of the cousins of our Peg, the one that's married to Al Bundy. She has a cousin that's named Possum Boy, or they have a neighbor named Possum Boy, and they go Possum Boy.
Oh,
So
I
God.
didn't know.
But dude, you know what I forgot to tell you that I did go watch was A
Oh.
Quiet Place Day One.
Oh, nice. Oh, you told me you went to go watch it, but then I don't think you wanted to tell me what your reaction was. Tell me what did you think?
So I had to watch it twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. The first time I fell asleep and I felt bad because we were in a packed theater and I snored. And I think the lady next to me, I felt bad. Like, dude, I was just exhausted. I had woken up early. I was cleaning.
It wasn't
the
your
house.
wife next
I
to
was
you?
just doing a bunch. Yeah, she was hitting me, and she was trying to
She's
wake
like,
me up and stuff.
like I wasn't doing too.
Yeah, but so I watched it and I watched it again and I was telling I told my wife that I was going to watch it again because I was like I don't want to judge the movie based on that because like it sounds like it was boring, but it was not. It was a really good movie. I think like you stated in the previous episodes when you had reviewed it, I think the characters are pretty great and I think they work really well in the world. I know one of the friends of the cast that was listening to that a particular episode was talking about the lore building in the movie, and I think he's right. I think it doesn't build into the lore a lot more than it could have, but I think it just focuses on the key characters a little bit more. But I thought it was a good movie. It's definitely worth the watch. I think you guys are gonna like it. If you like Quiet Place 1 and 2, I will say this in my perspective, it wasn't as intense. I think the first two are far superior in terms of like the horror suspense. I think it was well, it was better done. I think this one was more like my wife said this, a love story, right? A little bit more about the characters than like trying to survive.
Mm.
I mean, I thought I saw it in both ways, but I definitely agree with her. I think the first two were a little bit more horror. There's a lot more horror there. Like I think it's just not knowing what they were and what they can do. They just had to survive. This one kind of felt like a little bit more like
This one you're coming into it and you already know what the creatures are, and there's no surprise, right?
Yeah, it was a little different, but I think that was the only thing that I thought was different was that it just wasn't as intense. Like I didn't feel at the edge of my seat, or I didn't feel watching it after like the second time. I didn't feel like I did when the first two, where I felt like I couldn't talk, like I felt like I couldn't be loud. I was like, oh, I don't even want to talk. Like I felt so tense. Do you know what I mean? Or like,
yeah. Although my theater was completely silent like the whole time.
No, yeah, people were quiet too. I mean, besides my snore.
You were the loudest.
So yeah, so I watched it twice. So I mean, I paid for it, dude. I paid for it, or I didn't pay A-list, but so yeah, I thought the characters were awesome. Like I thought, dude, what's her name? Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o, yeah,
dude, she's awesome.
She's really good, dude.
Dude, she is a great actor. Like she is good.
You just
like,
want to watch her. You just want to see
from
what's
beginning to end. I was like, dang. And to the end, it's all, I don't know what the song is, but I'm feeling on 23. I'm not going to say what happens, but dude, also Digimon Digital Monster, this dude.
Hansu. DJ Hansu, yeah.
He's dope.
Whenever
dude, I just wanted to watch more of him, but he was only in certain moments. But when he goes.
Didn't you love, though, like how he kept coming. Yeah. I loved how they wove him into the story, though. Like, I felt like it was the whole, like, when we kept, I mean, it's kind of spoilers, but like how we kept going in and out and like would see people. I don't want to say too much, but like, I thought that was really beautifully done. and it felt very organic, like how we kind of like traverse through the story. I love that part. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
I think I think that they did well by the characters. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
they really made a colorful cast here. Like every one of the characters, I really thought was gonna like played a pivotal part. Like not like crazy where it's like, oh, they're gonna change the story because of them, but like when they were on screen, you really enjoyed them. Like this guy right here, I forgot his name, the guy with the beard. Man, I wish I could remember.
Is this the guy that did that Beatles movie? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's him. No, it's not him.
It's not him, right?
That's that guy
so
is
familiar.
Alex
Yeah,
Wolff. He comes out in Hereditary, and he also comes out in
okay.
He also comes out in Jumanji.
Yes. Okay, that's what I remember. Yeah.
The guy you're talking about is a completely different dude.
Yeah, I think I know who it is now. But
he kind of looks like him the way he looks here. But yeah, that guy, he's sweet, dude. I really liked him a lot.
Same. Yeah, he was good. I agree. It's definitely more of a period piece, not a period piece, a character piece, right? Where you're really trying to get to know the characters.
And I think piece. I was like, geez.
I mean, it is in the past, but it's not like super period. I thought it was crazy, like how much of New York was taken over, and like you see, because you walk through a lot of New York, and it's just crazy, like thinking. If this was like it was filmed, like I mean, I don't know how much of it was filmed on location, but like there's a whole New York set. If you watch the credits, there's a whole New York crew, and so it's just crazy to me thinking like they probably blocked off like whole streets, and that's just insane to me to think like how, because it looks so like just taken over by the monsters. And like I agree with you, the first one, it has so much tension because you really don't know what the heck is going on. And then the second one with like the baby and like, oh my gosh, like there's so many crazy things that happen.
Yeah.
But this one is just a different vibe, right? The thing I think I heard other people echo my sentiments of this, that we didn't really get to see people realizing what was happening, right? Like we kind of cut to like, it's kind of a spoiler, but they just figure it out really fast, which I'm sure like humans would just figure it out. Like, well,
there's a moment
about it
where a helicopter passes by and is telling them
exactly
what's happening, which is like they're like, hey, just to let you know, these are called death angels, and then it comes back again. He's all, keep quiet and don't do. Like it's really stupid.
I mean, it was cool because it like you get that whole wave of like monsters when running after it, which was cool.
But it's like it was kind of stupid. Like it would have been better if like they had it broadcasted and it's like, I think we figured it out. Something like that, where it's like nothing works. But again, it's like the beginning.
Yeah, I wanted to hear more of the struggle, right? Like more of the figuring it out.
Yeah, so like because this isn't just happening in New York. It's happening everywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, true. And I'm sure there was like somebody figured it out and talked to the news or something, and then they're like, we got to get the message out right away. But it just happened so quickly that I was like, oh, I want to see. I mean, there would have been a lot more carnage, right? There would have been a lot more like, what's going on?
I would have liked this movie to have ended with like them throwing like a nuclear bomb at New York. Oh, but I just spoiled it. What if they did it? They did do that, huh? Nah, I mean, obviously.
Well, but you see in the trailers with when they blow up the bridges, I thought that was cool. That was kind of a nod back to like the Dark Knight. Didn't they do that in the Dark Knight too?
Yeah.
It still gets me.
It's yours.
The city is yours. Dude, imagine Bane shows up and sorry, he's just like, I will beat them up with the mask. I don't know. I liked it. We should get into a couple of the news topics though, before we jump into Despicable Me. Do you want to talk about which one do you want to talk about? Actually, you know what? Because this is the mid-year, I just before we get into the news, I wanted to ask you what you've seen thus far. Can you pick any movies that are like, these are in my top for this year? Like these ones have been worthy of your time. I mean, I don't know. Does Quiet Place rank up in your top 5? Do you feel, or do you think there's others that beat it up?
I mean, honestly, I'm trying to, because you sent me this list, and I was like, man, I totally forgot there's so many movies that have come out, and I feel like I haven't seen enough of these movies.
You've seen quite a few though.
I have like I think I'm trying to go back to like the beginning of stuff and
I could tell you I could
go
tell you
ahead,
my
please.
top
Yeah, go
5,
ahead.
and maybe that'll help you kind of inform yours. But here I wrote out. Okay, here's my top 5. So I have Furiosa at number 5. Furiosa was like one of my it's my type of movie where it's it's got a lot of action. I just like the style of it. Really well acted. Really, it was fun. It was a long movie. I'm surprised that a lot more people didn't like it as much as because I think it was the girl boss thing again. But so I have Furiosa at number 5.
The girl boss. I don't think it was the girl boss thing. I just don't think this was. You keep saying that, but I just don't think this was an appealing movie to most people.
I think people were expecting to see Mad Max, right? Like
maybe,
they didn't like that it was
like,
a spin-off.
Nah, I mean, I doubt it because the way that they made it look, and then it also had Chris Hemsworth as like the main one of the main antagonists, right? Like you could, like it sells. I don't think it's that thing. I think it's like just people weren't there for this. Like this wasn't something they wanted to see because it's a lot.
But why?
Because it isn't for everyone.
The cast,
right? Like,
right? It's a very familiar cast.
Yeah, but like look what it
action
is.
Popcorn movie. I don't know. Yeah.
No. I mean, like Bad Boys 2, look what that had, right? We talked about that before. Like simple, evil villain, this and that, like easy to tell story, likable character. You know what I mean? Like it has all that. Furiosa is like something new. Not a lot of people know all these things. I don't know. I don't think it's the girl boss. I think that's just like it's too easy.
A symptom of past movies, perhaps.
I think it's just a thing that people say because they don't know what else to say. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly think there's like something about all the previous movies that have come before it, and seeing the trailers for that movie, that people might have gotten the idea that it was going to be something different.
Do you think that they said it's like Furiosa? Mad Max, so like they were like a Mad Max story, like like they were like really throwing Mad Max should be there, but we're not gonna get them, like that. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I really don't think that because like I usually I go based off of my wife. She's my like average consumer, right? Like I'm sure there's other people, but that's my wife. That's who I go based off of because she doesn't do all these like research like we do. I send her a trailer. She likes it. We go watch. Right.
Yeah.
She saw this trailer and she's like, "Oh, I'm excited. I want to watch it." But I don't think she thought about Mad Max. I don't even know if she remembers that we saw Mad Max Fury Road. Like, I don't even think she knows that was Mad Max. You know what I mean? But like,
she didn't grow up with Thunderdome. She didn't grow up with like the classics with Mel Gibson, though, right? Like she's never seen those.
So. See, that's the thing. But not everyone has either.
True.
I just met people.
I feel like the core audience is small, though. I feel like the core audience for these Mad Max movies are the people that have watched the old ones, and then you kind of got a little bit of the new people watching.
I see what you're saying. So you think that because they're like, I mean, we've gotten into this before, but I'm not going to get too crazy into it. But like, we've said this. Like, you think it's just like people are like, Mad Max isn't there. I'm not going.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking like. It says a Mad Max saga or whatever, a Mad Max story, but there's actually no Mad Max in it. And so I feel like the people that had shown up for the Mad Max movies, like the Thunderdome and like the the original Fury Road, and like I feel like these ones are just different, right? Even the last one, what was it called? Mad Fury Road? It's just called Fury Road.
Yeah.
The last one was a great action movie, but it was also missing a Mad Max element to it. And I think people showed up, and then the people that really liked Fury Road went and saw Furiosa, but it wasn't as much as the people who loved the series as a whole. I think. I don't know. But I don't know if we'll ever know for sure, like why it did so badly at the box office.
I don't know. I wish there was a way to find this out. Like consensus, even that could be BS, right? Like,
yeah,
there's no way to get a real, actual, viable answer to this. But from my perspective, I think the Jedi are evil. I'm just kidding. That's what Anakin says. No, I think I think I don't think it's a girl boss. I just think that this wasn't for people. I think what is that thing we always talk about, or you say it? It doesn't check the boxes,
You didn't
right?
check the 4 quadrants of.
Yeah, because like we got Captain Marvel too. It's like like Brie Larson. It's like a Marvel movie. It's this and that,
Right.
and it's checking but it's like nobody wanted to see that.
Well,
You
that's
know
the
what I mean?
thing
Like
is like what was it? Because the
couldn't have
last
been.
one was
Couldn't have
everybody
been
says
that.
the last one was such a good action movie.
Well, yeah, but it couldn't have been that it's like girl boss or whatever because like
Well, no,
it's
because
Captain Marvel.
word
You
of
know what I
mouth
mean?
was saying that it wasn't, right? Like when the people that actually went and saw it was like, yeah, it's really not a girl boss movie. It's like I don't know, like
I
you
don't
think
even know
word of
what the
mouth would
heck a
spread.
girl boss is. I don't even know what that is. Like it just.
You don't know what a girl or
I
girl
think.
boss?
Well, I think the only thing I could think of that was a girl boss, like anything, was probably like She-Hulk, because like right,
She-Hulk, yeah.
that was probably one. But I don't know, man. I can't think of anything. It's like Alita Battle Angel right there in the background. Is that girl boss? Because it's a girl and she's pretty boss. She's dope.
It's when all the men in the movie are like wimpy compared to the girl, right? The girl like has all the answers and takes over, and she's like, "I'm gonna lead this," and you know the men
But can I
are
ask you a question?
unnecessary.
Is there a guy boss version of this where it's like all the men know the answers and the girls are the dum dums?
Oh, that
like,
I guess
isn't that
people would
like
argue
most
that was
movies,
all of
right?
yeah.
Isn't that,
People would
yeah.
argue that's all of cinema
That's
back in
all,
the day.
yeah, right. Like there's like,
It
I
should
mean,
be
I don't know.
balance. Balance. The light
There's got to
and the
be good
dark.
balance.
The
They
light and the
can't.
dark.
Not everyone can be stupid. I get it, but like, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on.
Okay. We gotta get back. We gotta get through my top 5. So, Furiosa was at number 5. Dude, Bad Boys, Ride or Die was my number 4. Such a fun movie, dude. We all walked out of that movie with a smile on our face, right? I thought it was a great movie. It's my type of movie. Totally fun time. I thought number 3 surprised me because I watched this over the weekend, dude. Ordinary Angels was fantastic, dude. I know you haven't watched it yet. That's the one with Hilary Swank and Alan Richardson from Reacher. It's a true story about a hairdresser. I'll read you the synopsis. She single-handedly rallies an entire community to help a widowed father save the life of his critically ill young daughter. Dude, we watched this like just randomly. We just put it on, and usually my wife, if it's really late, she'll just fall asleep. And we watched it pretty late into the night. She was wide awake. We were both like very invested in the characters. It's just a good story. It's just a fun, heartwarming. I recommend it if you haven't seen that one. Number 2 was The Fall Guy, which I enjoyed. I just loved the behind the scenes stuff. The fact that they made a movie about stunts. And
I want to ask you a question. Are you ranking these based on the one you love the most, or like the most?
This was a
You said
quick
number 1, or are you just kind of giving me 5 movies?
Well, I think the number 1 is the number 1. I'm probably ranking these in order
wild.
of what I felt at the time, right?
See,
it could change.
It could change. Like, because for sure, Challengers would have been up there for number 1. I think.
Yeah, I haven't said number 1 yet.
I think you would have loved
number
it.
1.
I thought the freaking.
No, Fall Guys number 2. Fall Guys. Did I say number 1? Fall Guys number 2.
No, I thought the other one was number 1. The freaking Angels or whatever, Ordinary Angel.
No, that's number 3. That's number 3.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Number 1 for me it has to be Dune Part 2. So good. I love Dune Part 2. I saw it multiple times. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, this is just kind of like in the order that I felt at the time when it was creating this list. It could change. It could move around. Any other ones that I haven't called out? Like, would you put Inside Out 2 in your top 5?
So for me, I'm not going to do these by rank because I don't have a number 1. If I were to say a number 1, actually, it would probably be Dune 2. I really love that movie. Like, I saw it twice.
That was really good.
It was a great movie, but like, that's one. Fall Guy, the Bike Riders, The Idea of You.
Ooh. Which one's The Idea of You? The Idea of You?
That's the one with Dan Hathaway.
I
like that movie, bro. I
know
about it. I know it's like
well,
sounds like
top 5. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's top 5 for this year. Like so far, like we haven't gotten everything. I still haven't gotten freaking Joker, Folie D, or whatever it's called.
Folie D.
And then Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa, sorry, or Furiosa Mad Max Saga.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna have to watch Idea of You because
I mean, you can. It's just
in your top 5, bro. I
for
gotta watch
me, but it's because I like it. Just I mean, I know it sounds like a joke, like I'm making the joke, but like I think about it, and I'm like, man, I enjoyed the movie. Like I enjoyed the movie. Like sometimes it's just good to watch cheesy crap. Like not everything needs to be a masterpiece. You know
No,
what I
for
mean? Like
sure. Yeah.
this movie isn't like this isn't gonna win awards. This isn't gonna like be on the Oscar nominations or you know what I mean? Like it's not that. It isn't that.
It's for you, bro. This is just for you. Yeah.
This is the idea of me. It's just the right kind of cheese for me, brother. Like I just was like I enjoyed it. I did. I like it.
Dang, I have to watch this. You're selling it to me. You're selling it to me. Have you guys? I'm curious if the chat has watched this. Like, I'm curious if you guys have seen The Idea of You. Now I want to watch it. Let's do a live review of it. Okay, let's. Ernie, what do you want to talk about first in the news?
Let's just get into this. Get into the Batman thing pretty quickly. I mean, this is not going to be too crazy, but
all right, I'm down. Let's go. So there were plans. You guys see my screen? There were plans to do a Arkham Asylum TV series. Initially, it was going to be set in the world of Matt Reeves The Batman and will no longer move forward at Max. Originally, it was announced back in July 2020 as Gotham PD. It was a Gotham PD focused show, which is cool. It's kind of like, what is it? Gordon, the one with is it called Gotham? Just Gotham, right? Like the WB show. It evolved into an Arkham Asylum series described by Reeves as a horror-like exploration of the infamous asylum. Despite several changes in showrunners, including Antonio Campos, the project has faced numerous setbacks, with James Gunn and Peter Safran now spearheading the rebooted DC universe. It's possible that the new Gotham project could be developed in the future. Meanwhile, Reeves continues with the upcoming Penguin series and the Batman Part 2, while Gunn and Safran push forward with the DC projects like the Superman film and the Green Lantern series. So it looks like Gotham or the Arkham series is like on hold for now, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because I kind of wanted to see Matt Reeves' take on the Arkham Asylum. I think it would have been pretty cool, especially him saying something like it's horrific because Arkham houses like some of the most psychotic villains and like characters in the DC universe. Or I mean, in Batman's. I mean, it's the universe, but Batman's world, right? And it's pretty awesome. Like I think that like you would have probably seen Killer Croc. You would have probably seen like Clayface, like people like that. Like something that you would have wanted to see, but I mean, again, it's not the biggest thing because like it's not the biggest like bit of news just because this happens often. But I think it was worth sharing because I wanted to tell you guys because we had talked about this like oh man, it's a couple episodes several episodes back when we talked about that this was going to happen, and we're all kind of excited that Matt Reeves was able to sort of given the keys to the kingdom to cultivate his own Batman series of things. But what did you think, Jace?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think it still could be cool because Batman has some of the best villains, right? Like some of the great villains in the DC pantheon, I guess, are pretty much in the Arkham Asylum at some point. I don't know if it would be kind of like what would it be like jail time where they're just kind of be talking amongst each other, or would there be fights, or I don't know. I mean, there's kind of an open playground, but there's also kind of a limited playground, right? Because you kind of want to see them break out and like cause mayhem and like have Batman show up and try to like do stuff. Like if it's just solely focused in the Arkham Asylum, it could be a little lackluster. Like I love like the animated series where, you'd have like Killer Croc broke out of the Arkham Asylum and then like he goes on a rampage and like Batman has to deal with it. Like
I don't know, man.
Tell me.
No, man. Have you ever played Arkham Asylum?
I haven't played the game. Yeah, I've only played parts of the game.
So basically, Arkham Asylum, the Joker breaks out. He breaks out a bunch of the people, and Batman's in Arkham Asylum, like trying to get everything back situated the way it should be. And I
So it's all happening within the asylum?
Within the asylum. He never leaves the asylum, and it's a big place. It's a massive mansion. I think
Okay.
in
Well,
the
then there's some stuff
story, it's like in the story, it's a rich family who gives them this mansion in this area for them to create the Arkham Asylum. But it would be cool to see them sort of like the villains take over the corruption within the police force and all that, and seeing like the police officers who are trying to fight against that. It sounds like a cool story. I don't think they would have added Batman. He would have probably showed up here and there, but I don't think his whole. I don't think their plan would have been for Robert Pattinson to come out every time.
Is it kind of like remember the extended scene, or is it the third Nolan Batman Dark Knight Rises? When I think originally he wanted to have the Joker being like the judge, and like he was going to be like throwing sentences at everyone. Yeah. Maybe sort of like that, sort of where like they can't, the insane,
like the world they took
people
over.
Took over. Yeah. I could see something like that, I guess. I didn't realize that the game Arkham Asylum all takes place within Arkham, like at the actual. Yeah. That's kind of cool. I mean, obviously, I haven't played through the whole game. I've just played parts of it. So
it's a freaking awesome game. It's a really short one too. Like they're really short, like less than 10 hours, maybe. It sounds like it's like 10 hours. That's a lot, but it
goes really, by like really
goes
quick,
like really quickly. I think you could probably make it a lot longer if you really explore. Because like I stated, like there's like moments where they tell you about the Arkham Asylum and this family who was there that gave it away or something like that, stuff like that.
Interesting. Well, we kind of already touched on the Acolyte. Do you want to? Yeah. Was there any other thing you wanted to talk about?
There was this one thing I did want to mention. One of the friends of the cast, Chifa, had talked about this. This one. It's the review. It's the long-awaited death of review bombing.
Oh, okay. I think I have that one.
You see, it's the one with yeah,
the Wired.
We just want to talk about. We could just talk about that one. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. You want to go into it?
Yeah, go for it. Read it if you want. Go for it.
Okay. I'll subscribe now. The Wired, no. Okay. So it says Leslie Headland, the new. Oh no, Ernie! I don't know what we're gonna do with this one. Can't get out of it. Well, I'll just read it. So it says Leslie Headland's new Star Wars show, The Acolyte, has received positive reviews from critics, but being trashed by audiences, sparking allegations of review bombing on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics claim the negative reviews are driven by the show's diverse cast and LGBTQ themes. But some fans argue that their critiques are based on the show's perceived lack of alignment with traditional Star Wars elements. Headland, disheartened by the backlash, maintains that her show isn't overly queer, but expresses sadness over the negative reception. The controversy highlights broader issues within the fandom, where disagreements about the new content often devolves into polarizing debates. As Star Wars evolves with new stories, not every installment will appeal to all fans, but the franchise's legacy remains secure, allowing room for innovation and varied interpretations.
I want to say this because she says that the show won't be overly queer. In interviews, she's like praising how
I'm down with that.
Yeah, like they're praising that. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with like the LGBTQ plus. That's whatever. That's fine. But like, come on, they're doing that on purposely, right? Like that's a lie. It's a blatant lie. What they're saying.
I think so.
I wanted to say this because I think the reason that this is getting such positive reviews with news outlets that are like not us, like the like people that don't have a big platform, is because of the corporate access media, right? Like the people that are allowed to watch these shows prior to anyone. Because if they badmouth talk something, they get blacklisted.
They don't
know
get
what I mean?
invited to the new
They don't get
premieres.
invited to the next premiere. Kevin Feige
Mm.
isn't there buying them a steak dinner. You know what I mean? Like they don't get that sort of deal anymore. And I strongly believe that that's the case here. The show is not the worst.
It's garbage. Come on, it's garbage.
The show is not good.
It's not good.
Like again, I'm gonna. There's elements of things that I think were cool. Like I liked Sexy Sith. I think he's cool. Like I think he looks dope. How they utilize him is sad because he's being utilized in such a terrible show. The show is not good. It is not.
That's what I feel about Master Soul too. Yeah, Master Soul is being underutilized.
Yeah, I think he would have been way better somewhere else, and it sucks because like this is all we're ever going to get of them. They're not going to reappear unless I don't even know what they would do, but whatever, because all this is canon. Let's say they're like this was a fever dream at the end of this season. But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's that these news outlets are allowed first come first serve for these episodes, and they're able to post them on their site before anyone else, so they make money because you want to know if you should watch it, rather than like most people don't wait for people like us, like the YouTubers or like the podcasters that are gonna like take a week or something to like tell you exactly our true thoughts about the episode. Because right now, I say this is funny, huh? Right now we're not bought, but maybe later Kevin Feige can give me a steak and we'll talk. You know, no, I'm just kidding. I would sell this, but you know what I mean. Like, but that's the point. I have the same issue with people with video games, right? When you go to YouTube and you go to the video game reviews, they'll tell you this: I'm playing this game, but just to let you know, Sony gave me this copy of this game, but what I'm gonna do is buy an extra copy and give it to one of you guys, so you know that I wasted my money like you. All right, what?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, what is that?
What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do? You still have gotten this copy for free, and because they're giving you the extra ease, like first access to it, to YouTube monetize it, they're like, oh, Sony gave me this, but they didn't pay me to do this.
Right.
You're getting paid through your monetization through YouTube. You are getting a game earlier than anyone than me. If I were to post a gameplay, I would be a week late because I gotten it a week after you, or 2 weeks, or a month. Sometimes they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the special perks, right? The special perks of being in that circle, right? In that group of people that get it early. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of the cast, McFly, Michael M.Y. And I was telling him about this particular moment in Call of Duty history. I forget which Call of Duty it is. I think it's Call of Duty Ghost. I think. But they invited a bunch of the IGNers. It was like some people. I don't even know their names. Some like people. And they all went to, they literally flew them down, or they drove them or flew them, whatever. They took them to Mexico, all expenses paid, so they can play this game, and they could just see them drinking alcohol, getting effed up, having a great time. Are you telling me that when they're playing this game, I'm pretty sure it was a great game. I don't remember, but because I played all the Call of Duties, I thought they were all great at one point, but you know, but like, you're telling me that them drinking and getting all effed up, having a good time, getting free food, getting treated like royalty is not going to sway their opinion?
Right, exactly.
It's like this game ran really well. The frames dropped a little bit here, but let me tell you about the chimichanga they got me at this particular resort. Come on.
Yeah, like that doesn't have anything to do with the game. Come on. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just saying. They didn't say that. I'm just saying that. But you know, like.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of, did you see the burgers that Burger King's doing for the Deadpool Wolverine? There's a red bunned burger with a chimichanga sauce on it for Deadpool.
Oh, that's gross.
Like, I don't know about that, guys. I kind of want to try it though, just see what it is. What is chimichanga sauce?
I'd probably like a hot sauce. I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any like any sort of?
I mean, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of it has to do with also like who owns those media outlets, right? Like they're writing the media from the media a lot of times, right? Like and the smaller YouTubers are just their own opinions, right? They're just like I personally don't like this show, and here's why. Right? Like, I think a lot of people, like I was saying this to you before, like it's fun to watch the Acolyte, and then it's really fun to watch people's reactions. Right? People break it down and nitpick about it, and they do such a good job. And it's never about, oh, this character is too diverse, or oh, the lesbian witches are ruining my Star Wars. It's like, no, it's not a well-written show. It's like there's so many reasons and so many inconsistencies, and they call each and every one of them out. And because they're hardcore Star Wars fans, right? They know the lore. They know where cortosis comes from. They know like what island they harvest it from. They know like it shouldn't, it shouldn't be blocking the mind powers of the Force. Like there are things that they're cherry picking from the extended universe and from the lore. And I think that's why it's just not fun for them, because they're like, no, this is not how it is, and you're being so inconsistent. It's like, why did Osha want to turn? Is it Osha or May? I don't even remember who the bad one is. Is it May? That was the evil
I think
one?
it's
I think
it's May. I think it's May. May's a bad one.
Yeah, and it's like, why did she want to kill the Jedi, and then all of a sudden she want to turn herself in, and then the very next scene she wanted to kill her sister, and then like now she's being swayed with, I don't know, she's being nice to Master Soul. Why didn't she take her out right then? Like there's so many inconsistencies, right? Like and they're not, has nothing to do with like the characters or like the types of characters of the show. It's just, it's not a good show. It's just, we're calling out how we see it. And
I think it's because we've seen what a good show is, and
we
I
have,
think
we have stuff to compare it to.
we have things to compare it to, and I think it's gotten to the point where it isn't about like, it isn't what the IP is or what they're, or like who's housing it, like Disney, because like Disney has gotten some great shows, you know what I mean? They've done some great stuff that I really like,
Sure.
and this is just bad story. I think you can see that they're not following a guideline to what they've had in the past. Like they're trying to how do I say this? They're trying to reshape a story that's already been cultivated by George Lucas. Like there's already this lore, and they're trying to change it. And I think that's one of the big issues here, because it's causing a rift with with the fandom.
Yeah, it goes back to the same thing we said about George R. R. Martin, where he was saying when people come in and try to change things from like writers, like established, seasoned, really well done writers like Mark Twain, like George Lucas, like they try to insert J.R. Tolkien, they try to insert a bit of themselves, and it's like 99.9% of it is never better, right? You never make it improve upon it, because this is not who you are. You're not a writer, right? You're just trying to take something that has been established and add your own flavor to it. And it's like, no, just stick to, like, if you're going to create something new, right? Create a whole new story and take us along that journey. But when people are so in love with Star Wars as a idea, as a concept, they love the world, like play within the boundaries of the world, right? Play within the rules that have been already set up. Don't go and change because then nothing matters, right? Then like we have like the canon breaking stuff that we were talking about last episode, right? Where he said he was a Sith, so now we go back to the prequels, and now it's the Sith hasn't been around for thousands of years, and it's like, well, which is it, right? Like you can't just go and change stuff just to change stuff.
Yeah, I just saw recently too with an article. We're not going to get into this one, but they're saying that is a Sith, a derogatory term. I was like, my gosh, like, what are we even saying now?
Like, what's going on? Like,
Sith has always been evil. It's like the Jedi created a word to put down a person, or to put down people. Because I know the Sith are, I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're.
Oh, you looked it up, right? They're
a civilization of people, I think. Oh, there it is. Okay, it says, so this is from StarWars.com. I don't know if this is a real website. I mean, sorry, I don't know if it's like not real, but obviously it's real. I see it, but I don't know if it's a
credible
website. But it says here, Sith are an ancient order of Force wielders devoted to the dark side. The Sith practice hate, deception, and greed, notable for their red-bladed lightsabers, black dress, and use their aggressive feelings. The Sith look to amass power at all costs. The evil Darth Sidious, along with his apprentice Darth Vader, achieved the Sith goal of galactic conquest after a millennia of plotting.
There you go. It's established.
But now, some guy had, I think one of the tweets I thought I saw, like it was a random one for this. Where was it? I gotta double check what he said, but he said, "LOL, the Sith is the new N word." That's what this guy said. I was like, "What?"
Oh,
because like they're like
because they're making it derogatory, right?
They're making it derogatory. Like if it's like it's bad to be this particular thing, but which it is, right? Like they are bad people. There is no redeeming quality of these characters. Darth Vader, what he did was a bunch of bad stuff. Like he killed like thousands.
Right.
He didn't have a redeeming quality. At the end, he just redeems himself by killing that Palpatine, but somehow Palpatine returned.
You know, and it just, oh man. See that defeated his whole sacrifice. Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more to it. But go ahead.
I was gonna say we should probably should we end on a lighter note?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this one up because this was kind of a kind of a cool story. It's a short little story, but we're trying to balance the light and the dark, trying to give us a little bit of a 35-year-old. This was from the Good News Network. I had to go digging for a good news story, but I thought this was kind of cool. The 35-year-old Stephen Bergin was inspired by watching Grey's Anatomy to become a neurosurgeon, and because of that hit TV hospital drama, he's now he went from being, I think he's been a neurosurgeon for about 9 years now, or 9 years, and they're now gonna have him as a medical consultant on the show, and he's actually like in the process of thinking up new and fun stories for the next season. And
that's cool, man. I can't believe this show's still going,
dude. This show has been going on for a while, bro. Like it's crazy. But yeah, how many seasons is it? Could you look that up for me? I feel like it's like 20. Grey's Anatomy.
I think it says right there on the article it's 19.
Is it 19?
Yeah.
No, I think there's 20 now. Oh no, 20. Yeah. There's 20 seasons, dude. It's been going on for quite a while. But like that's pretty cool, right? Like you were just inspired by the way the show was portraying neurosurgeons, and it inspired you to become a neurosurgeon, and now it's coming full circle where you're like informing the show like to make sure it's like accurate and stuff. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. A little positive bit of news there.
I'm gonna start watching the show, dude. I'm taking physiology again this semester, and
I do it. You're already caught up on One Piece.
That's my next show, dude. Imagine I'm like 1,000 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. I'm just kidding.
You're like, I'm gonna be a neurosurgeon.
I've been watching random clips of the show House that'll pop out on my YouTube reels, and I was like, man, this is a good show. House is a great show. House is a really good show.
You should watch the freaking Good Doctor, dude. If you like House, it's got the House vibes.
I'm a doctor, or whatever. I don't know. I saw that meme of him like yelling or whatever. That's the only thing I know about it. So, I know he's autistic, right? In the show, it's like that's like the okay, because I know there was like where he is very like kind of like to himself, but he's like telling people things. I'm wondering. I kind of want to watch an episode to see if it works. How that works. Sorry.
I've only seen like middle of the season episodes because my wife started watching it without me, and then I just wander and be like, what is this? And then but it's pretty good, dude. He does kind of that House thing where he'll start like piecing things together in his mind, and like you'll see it like come up on the screen, and like he's thinking and drawing conclusions, and it'll be like, it's the coronary embolism, we gotta get this guy to whatever it is. Yeah. But it's like there's a lot of characters like you'll recognize from other shows, and she really likes it. She likes it.
Is she done with it? Is she done with it? Is it done?
No, I think I don't know if they're finished with their final season, but it's ending soon.
Hey, you guys watch a lot of shows. You guys like watch a lot of shows. I
don't watch that one. That's just kind of like one of her
It's just shows. Like you guys do watch because like it's hard for me to watch a lot of shows, like to focus on so many. But you guys,
to like jump around.
Yeah, you guys do a pretty good
Yeah.
job. I love that, dude. That's awesome. Because you
I
always
think
have something new you're telling me about, like, oh, we're watching this show, and I'm like, geez, that's awesome, dude. Like, I don't know, we gotta get on your level, me and my wife, because we like just get on one and then that's it. But like,
and
Friend of the
you
Cast
go all the
X
way through.
watches
Yeah.
like multiple things too. Like, it's like, oh, I want a comedy, there it is, or I want this, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on the movie.
I gotta
Yeah.
start putting stuff, dude, on just in the background.
Well, a lot of times we'll forget. Like oh yeah, we were watching this show, and then like a whole season will drop or have dropped while we weren't thinking about it. And we're like, oh yeah, we got to finish this one. Like what is it? Severance. Severance is coming back out. I gotta watch that one. Do you want to give your thoughts on Despicable Me because we watched it?
Yeah, dude. Hold on. Where's the? We don't have the Front of the Cast Lex's little song. Nah.
Oh, it should be there.
Oh, is it this one? Is it the Front of the Cast one?
I think so. Yeah.
Reviewing.
He's gonna want his royalties, dude, and he is royalty. Yeah, dude. Let's get into it. Okay. Let's get.
All right, tell me.
Okay, wait. Do you want me to go first? You should go first, huh?
Well, we both saw this together. Oh, I don't know. I'm still sharing this one. Let's switch.
Okay, wait. You're gonna do it first?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saving that for you. I'm sorry.
That was good.
Please go first.
I was just gonna say our theater experience, which was fun, dude. We got to bring your daughter. I think we both showed up on time. You beat me to the theater, and it was pretty cool. We had we snuck in some burritos, and you bought us popcorn, dude. We were
pretty
set.
pumped, dude. I was the first time that I was eating popcorn. I'm like, man, this is good. Like, I haven't had the popcorn in a while. I always go nachos. You know what I mean?
It does the popcorn at AMC is way better than the popcorn bagged.
Oh yeah,
AMC.
1000%. I don't know what the heck.
I think we both looked at it.
Trying to sell.
Yeah, dude, it's so much. It doesn't even taste like the one in the bag.
Unless the one in the bag is like, add a little bit of water and something, you know, like that we didn't, and it saves it. But I highly doubt that. Like, that's not. That isn't.
It's so delicious at the theater. I think there's nothing compared. Like, when you get fresh popped popcorn, delicious. Yeah, I really liked it. It's funny because we had like a big box and we were sharing it kind of across with each other, and like your daughter would come, just like reach her hand out and just grab a handful, and she was enjoying herself, dude. She was having a fun old time. So yeah, I think the theater experience was fun. The movie, dude. Let's get into the movie. What were your thoughts on like the overall? So this is like the fourth one, and what did you think? Got a new villain.
So I didn't like the villain. I didn't think Will Ferrell was.
He was.
I don't know.
Okay,
was right? Proper. Yeah, it was. I like the story though. I like that they were going after the family. I think that was actually pretty neat because like he has something that he needs to fear, and it's losing his the new baby boy, little baby Gru. And I feel like the minions kind of took a little bit the back burner in this one a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
I was surprised. It wasn't like they were at the forefront, but I think it's just because I think it's just because we've been so accustomed to the minions, the movies a lot, and they're like more on the forefront and everything. But yeah, I think they were on the back burner on this one, and I liked it, but I didn't like that character. I didn't think Will Ferrell did I think he did a great job voicing him. I think doing the little fake French or whatever was funny. But the show, but the overall character, the villain wasn't that. I
thought they were gonna do more of a because when he introduced, like, it's pretty early on that he has a crew, right? I don't know if we're getting into too many spoilers, but he does have a crew like the minions, right? And I thought they were gonna do more of like how he's the yin to Gru's yang in a way.
Yeah, something with those. Yeah, same.
But it kind of it was fine, right? Like, it wasn't annoying. Like, I felt like the previous one with like the disco, what's his name? I forget the villain that he was kind of annoying. I forget what his name was.
Max Brad or something like that.
Yeah, I felt like his vibe was a little bit like, I could take it or leave it. This one was more forgettable, and I was okay with it, right? It wasn't like annoying. It was just kind of like, he's there, he's foiled, whatever, right? And then because there was so much other things going on in this movie, it was like a constant attention grab, I thought.
His name is Baltazar Bratt. I just want to clear that up.
Baltazar. That's right.
Yeah, I
that's
think
right.
he's voiced by Trey Parker.
Oh, okay. The kids had a fair amount to do. I think there was a lot of side stories in this one, right? Like I felt like I was funny. We were talking about how like, okay.
I was gonna say it kind of felt like they were setting up for side movies or side shows of this. Like there's a particular kid you end up meeting. There's gonna be something with her, stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty substantial side quest, side story with the neighbor girl. The baby was super adorable. I don't know if they have the picture of the baby. I love the baby. Yeah, I was hoping that they weren't gonna focus on the mission as much and like more of the like just the family antics. I feel like it was a good balance. Like they were trying to do a lot of things, and I think that kind of helped with the attention span because we were talking about how Garfield had this whole like setup section of the movie where it was just like dialogue dump, and like this one was nonstop like stuff, like bright colors in your face, like as soon as you were wondering about something, you're like, oh, this is dragging, it cut to something else, and then I feel like there was no break, there was no breather in this movie. It's just kind of like boom 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 boom, keep going. And I felt like I think the kids were entertained for the most part, right? Like there wasn't any part where your daughter was kind of like, I'm bored, right?
No, I mean she would get up, but I think she just had hands in the pants. But I know she was getting up and walking around a little bit, but she was paying attention to the movie the whole time, which is a good sign because there was just so much going on screen, like you stated before. But she's never been the biggest Minions fan, but she likes the movies. Like I've watched them with her.
Yeah, she was cheering at certain parts. She'd get excited. She's like, it's happening. I don't know.
Which is funny. Yeah. Last time I showed her Despicable Me 2, they take one of the kids. I think it's Despicable Me 1. I think I saw with her, and they take the kids, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" Like she got really like worried, and I was like, maybe I should take this off.
Oh,
this might be too much for her. What about Jasmine right there, dude, from 90 Day?
I know, dude. That's exactly what we both looked at each other like. That's the lady from 90 Day Fiance. Exactly. But I think it's Sofia Vergara voiced her.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that? I don't know who it is.
It was. You're right.
They totally modeled after her. That's funny. Overall, dude, I think if you like Despicable Me movies, like you'll like this one. Like it was definitely more geared towards the kids, right? I think it was definitely wanting to cater towards kids' sense of humor, very very physical comedy. There were jokes for the adults for sure. There was a couple ones like, that was for the adults.
I agree with you. I think it's definitely. Well, I mean, it's a kids movie, right? But like, it has its moments of maturity in it, like where it's like it's for an adult, like a parent or a person from the 80s, or the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, there's these like moments that just like stand out a little bit, and I thought that like was cool because it helped, draw me into the movie a little bit more. I thought it was fun. The use of music, I think. Know what I mean? Like things like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was definitely for the kids, but I think if you're going with kids, you'll enjoy it to kind of watch through their eyes. I think it was fun having your daughter there. It was cool to see like her reaction to certain things, and she would laugh, and it made it more of a fun time. And definitely like nonstop, like in your face animation, great animation. Like it did a really good. Do you feel like that? I felt like the way that ended, no spoiling, but the way it ended to me felt like this was the last one. This was like the final one. I don't know. They might make more. I mean, if this movie makes tons of money, why not make another one? But it felt very. This is the conclusion, right? Kind of like.
I mean, it didn't feel open ended for sure. Like there's gonna be more. Yeah. But most of them don't end like that I can recall. There's not like at the end they're like, what's going to be the next adventure for the family? Like I don't think that's that I can recall. But I mean, they said this the other day. Like I don't know if they're going to do this like with the Simpsons, like the Simpsons does, where like they're stagnant, they don't age, and I think they're going to do this with these characters too.
Oh, interesting. See, so, I mean, we could do it.
Yeah. I want to say this because I'm pretty sure people are going to hear this. Can you guys hear that?
I hear it now.
No.
Yeah, it's like a little
It's
noise.
it's my freaking dog is chewing on a bone, and it's like just really loud.
That's all right. That's all right. We gotta see. We still need to see a picture of the dog. We still need.
No, I can't even post. Maybe next one I'll post one up. But
Yeah.
all right, we've come to the end of the podcast. My friend Jason, please play the music. I don't know, but as always, I would like to thank the audience for tuning in every week when we drop an episode. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you. Today is a Sunday, and I was born on a Monday. Blood on Tuesday. I don't know what the freaking the Solomon Grundy song or whatever. But yeah, dude, I had a great time coming on the cast with you. I really appreciate you coming on Sunday. I know it's the Lord's Day, as they say, and you're probably a busy guy, but I'm glad I was able to talk to you movies and stuff and gather your thoughts.
Hey, man. Thanks for talking movies with me. If you guys haven't subscribed to the podcast, why not? You know, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Why not? Subscribe. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube.
Watch Closely Pod.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you guys.
Have a good one. Goodbye.